Have you ever wondered if you can get your luxury vinyl planks or luxury vinyl tile professionally cleaned and sealed? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how we do it. So one of the next things you're going to want to do is vacuum the floor, sweep it if need be. But what I'm going to do is go across all this floor, and then I'm also going to use the lance here to make sure I edge around all the baseboards, because we don't want any debris or anything on this floor. Because what we're going to do after that is we're going to go ahead and prep it by using a buffer, or what I'm going to be using specifically is an Orbot Vibe. And I'm going to use a pad underneath it to agitate the floor to loosen soil, so that way I can extract it. So it's very important that we get as much dry soil off the floor as we can first. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so the next step is going to be using the Orbot Vibe, and I got a red pad under here for some agitation, and then I have a cleaning agent inside this tank that's going to be spraying out in front with these two jets that are on it, and then that way I have some product down for agitation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just remember to do sections at a time. You don't want to do large areas before you get to rinsing this off the top of the vinyl planks or tile, luxury vinyl tile, because you want to make sure it's not going to dry out on you. So we're going to do just sections at a time. So that's why I'm just going to do probably the first half of this room. That way it gives me the opportunity to get to it before it dries out, because I may need to re-wet it if that's the case. I'm only letting a little bit of product out at a time because I don't want to oversaturate it. Making sure that I overlap my passes. now I got the floor prepped. You can see right here agitation from the Orbot. Basically just need to rinse it. Just go slow movements at around 800 PSI or maybe just a pinch lower. That way you don't create halos when you're cleaning and it dries out and may look tacky before you put your finish. So just make sure you move slow. So you just want to move up. And back. So since you're using a lower PSI than you would on like tile cleaning, you just move a little bit slower so you don't create any halos. So I'm kind of moving sideways here so you guys can see better. And you'll notice that I'm cleaning into the room too, instead of starting at the wall and working my way back. That way I'm not dragging my hoses over the loosened up dirt and tracking it around. So I'm running my machine at about 800 PSI, not too high, and then I'm moving slowly so you don't create halos, cause any issues there, and you obviously don't want to use too high of pressure on this type of flooring. This is just meant to give it a good rinse and pick up the loose dirt. This floor isn't really textured, just very slightly. So if you have a vinyl plank floor or tile floor that's got some pretty good texture to it, to get in those pits and valleys, when you're buffing the floor, it might be wise to use the weight kit on it too, and test that out to see if that can help get in those grooves a little bit better. You always want to clean into the room too, so you're not dragging your hoses across the loose soils, tracking it around. So that's why I'm rinsing towards the wall and not starting at the far end next to a wall and working my way out. Okay, so your next step after you've rinsed it off, obviously, is you're gonna wanna dry it out. You don't want any moisture on this floor. So get yourself a microfiber pad and have multiple pads for you, because what you're gonna wanna do is go over this once and then even take another fresh pad and potentially go over it again. You wanna get all the moisture off of it before you start to put the sealer down. So go ahead and make sure you got it all off. And if you have a blower, it wouldn't hurt to put a blower on it to help speed dry it up. But just in case there's any small puddles, go ahead and use a microfiber pole and a pad and pole to get most of it up, and then set your blower. Oh boy. See, when you're putting a finish on a floor, you definitely want to make sure that you are completely cleaning it first. Even if it's a brand new floor that was just installed, it's going to need to be cleaned a little bit first because you don't want any dust, debris, anything on the surface before you apply the sealant to help protect it, because you don't want hairs, debris, anything to be stuck into the sealer. So that's why floor prep is so important before you apply this product. Okay, so the next step is to apply the first coat, 1 of 2. So I've already done over in this corner here along the edge for the purpose of another video. But basically I just want to add a little bit of a line here, and I'm going to do small sections at a time. And I'm going to be going up and down here because I want to try and go the same direction that the planks are going. I'm just treating it like as if it was hardwood floors. This floor is slightly textured, so I want to just do the same exact thing as if I was applying it to hardwood, so just to be safe, kind of going with the grain of the floor. Generally, this stuff takes about between 20 and 40 minutes, roughly, depending on the airflow in the home for drying before you could put the secondary coat on. You can do more than 2 if you want a higher sheen to the floor, but for the sake of this one, we're just going to be doing 2 only. So these floors have become very popular. So this is a service that you can add to your business. If you're a cleaner, if you're already taking care of LVP floors, this finish can last anywhere between 3 and 5 years, depending on the upkeep in the house. So this is a nice add-on that you can give to your clients to give them a little more protection of their floors, especially if they're pet owners. In case it's hard to tell where you've started and where you've left off, it's wise to give yourself something to leave off on. So for my sake, Okay, floors are done. 2 coats are on and it is dry. So again, this is just a satin finish and we got the 2 coats only. You can apply an additional if you'd like it to have a little bit more of a sheen to it. But let's take a look around. So, lighting's a little different now, obviously, since it's later in the day, but it definitely looks great. I even did this floor in here, which I originally didn't video, but it really gave it a nice shine in here. So I'm glad I went ahead and just did this floor.